What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Heroes for Hire podcast. We're back again, talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Sean Meehan. Sean, how is it going?
Joining you as always, here I am, Connor. Here
you are.
I'm doing this new thing. I've heard that listening to people, you should say the things that they say back to them, but in a slightly different way.
Where did you hear that?
Where did I hear that? Let me tell you.
For God's sake.
I can't remember.
This is going to be tiresome. This is going to be tiresome.
So
show, you say
yes.
what they said and then say just a few words extra.
You say what they said and then a few words extra. Exactly. You've got it there. Well done. God, we're getting on so well today.
I don't want to hang out with you anymore. This is bad.
I will not say that back to you because that would be mean.
Sean is smelly, and so is he. Wait, what?
What? What have you done here?
You have to say that back.
No, I have free will. It's not a fucking genie's curse.
I thought I had you. I thought I'd gotten a good zinger.
One of these days, Gadget.
Oh man. So yeah, it's been a pretty big week, and we do have a few bits of news from last week's DC fandom to get to this week. There's been, because we had to talk about the three big trailers with Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then you had the Batman trailer. We didn't get to other pieces of news that came out of fandom that are just as interesting, I should say. But we are starting this week with possibly the biggest news over the last week, and the saddest news, I should probably say, and that is the passing of Chadwick Boseman. One of Hollywood's probably finest actors, Sean, passed away at age 43.
Too young, first of all, and what a talent as well. Supposedly he didn't tell anyone except for close family, and passed away surrounded by his loved ones, which I suppose is the best you can ask for in a scenario like that.
The most amazing thing to me was finding out that he had colon cancer throughout the filming of all of Black Panther and Avengers and that whole... And I know, like, you don't want to condense it all just down to the man in the MCU, because, like, they are the biggest movies, but he has other pieces of work that he's done. But just in terms of, like, that machine, the MCU machine, and the promotion and the filming, that is a whirlwind. Like, you have got to be... People at 100% are... That takes them to the absolute, just wears them down after a while. You do a movie, you promote it for 6 months, then you do another movie, then you promote it for another 6 months. It's a whole thing. The fact that he did all of that for 4 years with colon cancer, going to chemotherapy, getting himself checked up a lot of the time, I would say, it blew my mind. Like, that is a level of strength that I will never ever have in my life, I don't think.
It's astounding, and when you consider that, like, it wasn't just like he got to like MCU level fitness, which is ridiculous to reach in normal circumstances, but he did that for Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, and in between he did these other movies where he wasn't, he wasn't a superhero, like, he wasn't a muscular superhero. So he, like, not only did he gain all the muscle and everything like that, he then lost it and put it back on,
which takes more out of you.
Like, to put your body through that is unreal. And he was doing all this while, as you say, doing press junkets and visiting kids suffering from cancer in hospital. Like,
yeah, all those pictures of him in the wards with the kids is so amazing. Like, you never know what somebody else is going through. Like, in that picture, you're just like, oh, it's Black Panther visiting some sick kids, not knowing that, like, he was also going through what they were going through.
Yeah, and it's just, and he's all smiles because it's, it's for the kids at that point.
I think a true, just gentleman is the only word that a lot of people kept saying, like, there's been an outpouring of tributes from all across the cinematic world, just, not just Marvel, like, everybody who's worked with this man or has known this man has come out and said what a great person he is, or what a great person he was, I should say, and they're all just saying, like, how sad it is that he passed away. But how strong he was mentally to go through all that. So I just felt like this week we should probably start just giving this man a tribute for, like, he rose to stardom in the Jackie Robinson movie 42, and like he plays a lot of biopics, and I think the 3 biopics he's done, he was also James Brown as well, and he's really just an actor's, I know it's a cliche, like an actor's actor, but like this is a man who just studied acting down to the nth degree, like, and he would just become the character, and that is, and there's a lot of people that turn up to set just randomly and they just film until like 4 o'clock. Okay, then I get to go home. This man became all of these characters one by one. As you said, like the weight goes up and down depending on the role. Like he completely encapsulated himself in every single project he was working on. And I think that's the side of just like a pure actor. Like he just loved it. And the fact that he actually got to see the success of Black Panther and all of that, and like and everything that came with that, I think is amazing, because it would have been incredible, way like a million times sadder if this had happened, say, 2 years ago, just as Black Panther had been released, and he never got to see the impact he had on the world. But at least there was that moment where he was like, we fucking did so. That's amazing.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler put out a statement. Ryan Coogler also, by the way, he said he wasn't privy to the details of his illness, so he didn't even know. That's ridiculous. Like, and he said, Ryan Coogler said, he was a caretaker, a leader, a man of faith, dignity and pride. He shielded his collaborators from his suffering. He lived a beautiful life, and he made great art day after day, year after year. That was who he was.
And that's such a nice thing to say. Like, the fact that Ryan Coogler directed Black Panther and didn't know he was going through this, like, that is a level of privacy that I don't think we ever see anymore.
No, I don't think a lot of people, and actors especially, are afforded that.
And I just wanted to start this week's episode. Normally we're a bit more lighthearted and jokey, but this is it's important to pay tribute to this man, as he was such a talented person. And from every account that anyone's ever given, everybody says that he was just a lovely man as well, which is the best thing you can say. Everyone who's ever worked with him has come out and said he was absolutely a gentleman. To the absolute nth degree. That is all you can say.
Yeah, the world was better to have had him in it for even like a little while.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no real easy way to go from that to our normal stupid news that we cover, but I suppose we're going to have to try and make this loose link, because we're going to have to move on to actual, like, comic book movie news. As weird as it sounds going for something that's actually serious, we can go back to our nerd worlds now. And
go back to the safe world where none of it really matters.
No, yeah, exactly. And so we're going to start with the news this week with New Mutants, Sean.
Oh.
It has released.
It has, I've heard this.
It has released, and the reviews are in. And the reviews are saying it's the greatest movie ever made. The next
I knew it. Connor, I didn't want to say anything, but I bet everything on this movie. The bookies actually took the bet. I put all of my savings, the house, my parents' house, everything went on this movie.
Sorry,
I'm so glad.
Specifically, what was the bet? That it's going to be the best movie ever? How would you like rate that? Who's going to give you the money?
That a Rotten Tomatoes score would exceed 90%, Connor.
Oh, right. Boys.
So
you have lost. Now. You have lost some money. I would ring your mother.
Oh no! She's away.
They're going to take her kneecaps. So the New Mutants movie has come out. I think it's just called New Mutants, actually, not The New Mutants, and it is being called the worst X-Men movie ever in the reviews. Now we have not seen it, so we cannot like say from our own point of view, but from all the words we're hearing on the streets, as the kids say, it's not looking good for the New Mutants.
More like New Putants.
Oh, I think like we've gotten them again.
That's the definition of kicking them while they're down, though, let's be honest.
Yeah, these poor people. So, Sean, my only question is, are you surprised?
No, I mean,
No.
what element of the production pointed to this movie being good? I said I wanted it to be good, but it was never going to be good.
I really thought after the 5th pushback it was going to really pick itself up.
Oh, once that 8th trailer dropped, yeah.
Once the 8th trailer dropped and the 17th month of reshoots, I thought, we're going to get another Dark Knight. I don't want to say it too early.
And, like, it's also opening against Tenet after a lockdown.
True, this is true as well. I think it's up to make, I think it's $7 million in America from this weekend.
Oh, that's not good. That's not a good amount for opening weekend of a superhero movie.
It's not the best. It's not the strongest opening you could ever have. But as I said, they are calling it the worst X-Men movie ever. I think the worst. I think the I don't know. The worst way you could do it is they didn't have any screenings for critics. They just that's normally a bad sign if they don't give the movie to critics beforehand so they can do a review before it opens. In every movie I've ever heard of that happening, the movie's always bad.
That's a nice little indicator, though. If they're like, yeah, we don't trust the critics right now. We want at least some curiosity for this movie.
Maisie Williams had to come out on Twitter and she shared one of the reviews that called it the worst X-Men movie ever, and she said, sounds like a must-see, get your tickets now.
She has gone beyond caring about this, I feel.
She did the movie in 2014. I don't think she gives a shit.
Like, don't you think her and Sophie Turner now are just texting each other? Like, well, we're both in the shit ones.
Like, the two of us somehow were in the 2 worst X-Men movies after The Last Stand.
And X-Men Origins Wolverine, let's never forget that.
Oh shit, yeah. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Okay, so if
has this dethroned Wolverine, or has it dethroned Dark Phoenix?
I think it's Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
I think Wolverine Origins is... I don't know how bad this movie is, but there's no way it's worse than in Wolverine. There's just no way.
Yeah, I think you're right. And also, Wolverine Origins isn't a real X-Men movie, is it?
Not really, no. It has Hugh Jackman in it, but it does nothing with him. It has huge jacked man in it. But I have other news on the New Mutants, and that is Fox. This is long before Fox were bought out by everybody, and it did have a troubleshoot in 2016. But the news came out this week, according to Vulture, that Fox hated New Mutants so much they considered reshooting the whole movie at one stage.
Wow. Like, how much could it change that they'd approve it, you know?
So, the behind-the-scenes drama on New Mutants was far worse than had been previously suspected. The wide-ranging investigation cites anonymous sources who worked at Fox at the time, who revealed that the first cut of the film that was delivered was so bad that executives considered starting over and reshooting the entire movie. The sources quote an unnamed senior executive of Fox who reportedly said, "You could throw the movie out, start over, and it would still be the least expensive X-Men movie so far."
Oh, I love executive put-downs because sometimes they're brilliant. I don't like executives all that much, but they're put-downs.
No. I mean, the fact that they did a whole movie, it's like if your child hands you a drawing and you're just like, no, the whole thing is wrong. Like, the whole thing.
Sorry, do I look like I have green hair?
That's not even close to my face structure, you bastard.
I wouldn't put that on a fridge that I found in the dump.
Actually, no, I would. And then you know what I'd do with the fridge? I'd blow it up. I would blow it up, Timmy. Because I could not be looking at it.
I want your art to not exist.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. What you've done for the past 6 months, I want it to not exist. I want to
all
start
the long
again.
hours, all the head wreck, all the, for the actors as well. Like, their job is to put emotions into things. It's like, throw it all out.
one of the co-creators of the New Mutants, Bob McLeod, his name is spelled wrong.
This.
His name is spelled wrong in the credits. I think McLeod is spelled McLeod, and they spelled it MacLeod. And he said, he came out and he was obviously furious because he's the co-creator of the New Mutants characters. And he's like, they couldn't even be bothered to check the spelling of my name sometime in the last 4 years. And that can't be fixed. That will be on the movie forever, he said.
And by all accounts, this was like the final straw, because he has a whole Facebook post about it, and it's brilliant because he systematically breaks down, they changed this crucial element of this character and this key element of this character. So what they did, they stripped out all of my input into how those characters exist and were formed, and they spelled my name wrong. I'm done.
Just a massive fuck you. Like, you create these characters, like, we're going to do a movie on them, great, we spelled your name wrong, soz, but don't worry about it. Not so great. So I think the New Mutants from start to finish has really showed us that maybe cinemas being closed wasn't the worst thing in the world. Maybe it was better when we didn't get to go to the cinema.
Is it possible to argue that this would have done better on streaming?
I don't know, because I suppose it would be harder for, like, the reviews to come in on streaming, because I think what normally happens is if something gets put on on Netflix, I should say, like, it gets millions and millions of downloads that one day. Like, millions of people from around the world all watch it once, and nobody asks anybody else is it good or bad. I think with this, the critics go see it, people are less likely to get up off their couch at home and go to the cinema to watch something if it's got 1 star.
Yeah, you're a lot more, like, invested at that point.
Yeah, I think maybe if it did come out on Disney Plus, it might have, but I don't think you could have charged $30 for it if it's that bad.
I think people would be livid if they paid $30 for it.
I don't think you could probably charge anybody anything. Like, if it's that bad, I think they should have just put it out on Disney Plus. They would have gotten a lot of downloads. You probably would have gotten a few people that maybe like it. It does not have 10% on Rotten Tomatoes and all that. Now, obviously Rotten Tomatoes is just a vague overview of the movie, but it does have 30%. So it's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like, there are films that I like, certainly, that have 30%. And no, look, they're objectively, poor quality films, but I still like them,
Yeah, I think a streaming service would have worked better for this. Would you have played anything, or would you have preferred it to be free?
I would have paid a tenner for it. Like,
really? I think you're probably in the minority, though.
Really? Do you think so? Because
yeah.
I think it would have been a nice, like, soft introduction to paying a little bit more for new movies on a streaming service you already own. Because I think a lot of people would have no interest in seeing it anyway, and that's fine. But for people like me who just have kind of a morbid curiosity about it, a nice little, like, 10 euro compared to 30 straight out of the gate. But then I suppose you bring in the question of, well, who decides how much it costs?
I would have charged like $2.50.
Really?
And then you get people to pay for it, but also not enough that they can be mad that they paid for it.
Okay. I think $2.50, like, they would never do a $2.50 anything.
No, they wouldn't. I just think for the quality of movie you're getting, maybe. If you're going to throw out, like, an amazing film, up the price. But I suppose that's whose opinion is that? It's just one person making up the prices. Okay, I just wanted to cover New Mutants because that has come out. Finally, the big day is here. It is officially out. It's released. It's in the world. It's in the world. It's no longer in purgatory. And that's something we can celebrate, but the fact that it's not very good is also something we probably should have expected. So we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is a remake, Sean. I know you love remakes. I know you do.
Big fan of all things and all things make.
And what is your favourite Steve Martin and John Candy film?
What?
Play Planes, Trains and Automobiles
Yeah.
is getting a remake.
Why?
With Will Smith and Kevin Hart.
Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's the worst. Oh, no.
Yes.
Why? Who owns Planes, Trains and Automobiles?
Who owns it?
Yeah.
Paramount Pictures.
The bastards.
The bastards are going to write them a strongly worded letter. So, well, you see, Sean, what happened is, right, the first Plane, Trains and Automobiles, everyone hates it. It's not very good.
91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So what you do,
4.8 out
right?
of 5 on Amazon.
Nah, but what about if you made a 99% one? You remake it to 99%, right? So John Candy, I mean, he's all well and good being funny and being good in that role, and he's also hilarious at Home Alone when he does the line of where he's talking about the kid. And he's just like, oh, and he hasn't been talking for a while, and a few months later he came around. That's an amazing line.
They left him in a mortuary or something.
Yeah, a few months later he started talking again, is what he says. And you have Steve Martin, who everyone knows not funny. When has he ever done a funny movie? Never. And so, Steve Martin, John Candy, nah. Will Smith, Kevin Hart, pretty good. You could put the same movie, Will Smith, Steve Martin, of course, because you're not putting Kevin Hart in the non-annoying role. Kevin Hart annoying Will Smith for a full 2 hours. Count me in, Sean.
I'm sorry, you're assuming there that Kevin Hart is playing the John Candy role. But
yes.
what if he's the straight man in this?
Imagine. I want to see a movie where Kevin Hart is the straight man to Will Smith's weirdo.
Like, the thing I'm not even worried about, but wondering about, is that I just feel like Planes, Trains and Automobiles, it's very of its time as a movie, in that
Yes.
I don't know how many shower ring salesmen there are anymore.
I also don't know how many, like, this movie, I think, is a very good movie. For people who've seen it, like, it's a classic. But I don't think a lot of people have even seen Planes, Trains and Automobiles these days. Like,
No, I think a lot of people know it from it being referenced in other things.
Yeah, and it's the classic case of you have this odd couple that come together and are travelling partners because their flights get cancelled, and John Candy is a maniac and he's more laid back, and Steve Martin is a bit more uptight. He likes everything perfect. John Candy, not so much. I bet they're an odd couple. And so then hijinks ensue. And it is, I think it's a very 80s film, but it's also a very funny film. And so what they've done here is they've taken something that people like from their childhood. The producer, the little boy who watched it in 1987, has grown up to now be a Hollywood executive. And he kept saying for the last few months, we need a movie like Planes, Trains and Automobiles. And then he thought, why don't we just redo Planes, Trains and Automobiles? Because cinema peaked in 87 when I was 7.
That's when all the good movies came out.
Exactly.
I class this. I'm slowly developing like a list of unnecessary remakes because
They're all from the 80s as well.
they're all from the 80s, and how like they're all just as good as the day they first came out. You know, like it'd be like remake now. Again, 21 Jump Street is better
True.
than the original 21 Jump Street.
Yes.
But this and what were we talking about the other day? 3 Men and a Baby.
Yes.
Like, no one is clamouring for these remakes, and I just think they're worthless, and I'm really angry, but I'm also very tired, Connor, and I can't put the effort into it that I usually do. But I want to be angrier about this because I want them to stop making this. Also, this movie is 92 minutes long.
Yeah.
Right? When is the last time a 92-minute long movie has been made?
Never. And this movie that is a remake will not be 92 minutes. I will guarantee you that.
There will be no... Also, the guy who edited this did some editing on Star Wars, okay? There is not going to be tight-paced, very well-crafted comedy. It's gonna be it's gonna be long.
It's gonna be Will Smith
out.
being cool. It's gonna be Will Smith being cool and Kevin Hart being a bit crazy, and Will Smith reacting to Kevin Hart. There's no way it's not going to be anything else.
But at a certain point, it's just let's do Bad Boys, but with Kevin Hart.
I think that's what they're going for. Yes.
I don't think it... And I know Will Smith is he's just one of those people you put in movies and it does make money.
Yeah, because Will Smith is a great actor and he's really cool. And now he's had a few bad movies, so he went back to Bad Boys recently. And in an interview he said, I did a few movies people didn't see. And so then I did Bad Boys 3, and weirdly I think that's the biggest movie this year, or top 3 anyway, because there's obviously been no movies.
No, of course.
But that movie is actually better than it probably has any right to be. But I think Will Smith has now seen that he should probably do some movies that are more, I don't know, family friendly, or maybe movies that are going to have a higher engagement than him doing, because we know Will Smith can act. He did a lot of movies. Pursuit of Happiness is an amazing film, but I feel like that's over 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
and since then
he can't keep writing
that
forever.
He's just kind of coasting. He did Concussion actually in 2018. I think that was a good movie, but nobody's seen it, and that was the issue.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and that was an issue. Well, I've seen it. I've suffered from many concussions, Sean.
That's true. You thought it was a documentary.
I was like, when do I pop up? I can't remember filming this, ironically. I just think Will Smith wants to do this. Kevin Hart, this is right up his alleyway. He gets to be the weirdo to do a person straight, and him and The Rock have done it for 5 movies straight. Just let him and Will Smith do it as well.
I'll allow it to happen, but I'm not seeing it. We're not doing a Planes, Trains and Automobiles review when it comes out. I want you to promise me
I'm doing a Lazarus Pit. I'm doing a Lazarus Pit on it straight away.
This is what you get.
This is what you get for giving us money. So we're going to move on to a good piece of movie news, Sean. Finally.
I've been lied to before.
True, but this one actually is good. This is a story from last week. DC's fandom. We have found out that there is a Static Shock movie in development at DC.
Static Shock?
Static Shock. Now, I was ironically shocked to find out before that you never watched Static Shock in the early 2000s, the animated TV show.
No, but I have gone back as an adult and I've watched every episode.
That's a lie.
That is a lie.
That's a straight up lie. But it is, because we covered Static Shock on Hero Zero one week, and it amazed me because I was talking like we had both seen it, and then halfway through you were like, I haven't seen Static Shock, and I could not figure it out because that was like a Saturday cartoon. That was what you sat down to watch. And it won a lot of daytime Emmys as well. I think it received multiple daytime Emmys. And as an animated show, it's really, really good. But for the last few years, there's been kind of it's sitting there. That character is sitting there if you want to do a Static Shock film. And I think it would be really, really good. And they just haven't really... Because they haven't even been able to get Batman and Superman right. So I think they're very scared to go near Static Shock. But now it has come out that they are going to be doing one. And I think this is the best idea ever, because Static Shock is just a really good character that nobody has seen on the big screen yet. So you could actually do whatever you wanted. It's a clean slate.
Do you think, though, that there'll be people like you who are massive fans of the show who it'll be very hard to do it right?
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, I can't speak for everyone else, but personally, for me, I felt like I'm a fan of the show, but I'm not going to be angry if they do a different thing. I'm not so set in my ways of Static Shock. With Batman, I have, he doesn't have a gun and he doesn't kill. There is 2 rules. Static Shock, I think, is a lot more looser. There's a lot of ways you can go with that. As long as he has a flying oh no, what's it called? The piece of metal, a sewer lid. As long as he's flying around on one of them. What is it? What are they called?
Oh, I'm never going to tell you.
Come on, please.
Oh, manhole cover.
Manhole! As long as he's flying around with a manhole cover, using his electricity, and he's got that friend who's good at computers, I'm okay with that. I think it's an interesting concept that if he's a younger actor, and I think that would be. I think it's really, really good. I think it would be a great way to get even more people involved in the superhero genre, because Static Shock is a younger hero. He's like Spider-Man, where he's only 18 or 17, and so it's always cool. Yeah, it's always cool for people to watch that. Like people who are 17 or 18, you get to watch a kid or a teenager or whatever figure it out. Like he's not Batman and Superman where he's already 35 when the movie starts. He should be a lot younger than everybody else.
That's quite cool as well, though, because you've told me, and I know from the Static Shock Hero Zero, he does like age through DC, like the DC animated universe. Like you see him in Batman Beyond as like a full-grown superhero.
Yeah, he's part of the Justice League in Batman Beyond. When he goes back in time, he's like an older version of himself. Actually, I think that's in. This is going to get very inside the actor studio here. Inside baseball. That's in a Justice League Unlimited episode called Into the West, Wild Wild West, or something like that. It's a 3-parter,
right.
Sean. It's pretty good, but they go into the future. And Static Shock is part of the Justice League in that universe with like a whole different team. But he's like 50, I think. And I think it's just a really cool concept to have him there, and he could grow older as the movies go on. Like if you brought him in, he's actually a much more likeable character than Ezra Miller as the Flash. So if you wanted to use Static Shock as maybe the likeable one instead of, Quipper makes Quipper so you can't run, I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah. And now, is there any room for quips, Connor? Any room at all?
Quips from everyone else other than Ezra?
I don't know. I'm fairly locked into Ezra having some quips.
He's pretty good at the quips, to be fair. What about the running shot? What's your levels of the running on Ezra?
Oh, incorporate more arms into your running, please, Ezra.
I want those legs to be more horizontal as he runs.
I do think it's interesting that once again we're talking about the future of like an expanded DC universe, because it feels like everything's about to be reset fairly soon.
Yes.
So I like this, that we're like, oh, we could have this character and this character. It's like the early days of comic book movies where you never really knew what the fuck was happening.
And I think, as you said, it is going to be a clean slate. Like, if they do this properly with the Batman coming out, and they're probably going to do... it's going to be like a Crisis on Infinite Earths kind of thing. You have the Flash movie coming out, where that's going to reset everything. So if you have the clean slate, go with Static Shock, because I think there's an ingrown fan base for that has not been tapped into since 2003.
Yeah, when you say it like that, like there's not been new Static Shock media really since 2003.
And a lot of people will see the trailer and be like, oh, I remember that from when I was younger. Holy shit! And then they will go watch it.
So you've got the nostalgia, you've got the inbuilt audience. And you've got the cool concept. Yeah, you've got the cool concept that's already... You don't have to make anything up. You could just literally copy and paste the plot of the animated show and obviously juice it up for the movie. But it's all sitting there. You just have to take advantage of what you already own. You are DC after all. What if like this news has gotten confused along the way and they're actually putting Static Shock into Titans Season 3?
Oh no, actually that would be something they do. That would be something they would do. Yeah, he was in Young Justice for a little bit. I don't think he was actually called Static in it, but he was in Young Justice for Season 3, I think, a little bit of Season 2. But they never actually named him. So specifically Static Shock content has not been touched properly for about 15 years.
Like that, if I was a a studio executive with a brain, I'd be like, maybe look into it, guys.
Maybe this is actually a good idea. Why don't we do another Batman movie? Wait, no, we're already doing that. Shit.
What if we recut Man of Steel?
Oh, Man of Steel again. Zach, are you around? Are you busy with Justice League? Come back in when you're finished. We'll get you in again. Moving on from that is actually something that's slightly loosely related but not really. And that is John Boyega has come out and he was asking people he'd like to play a superhero. And people were asking
brilliant.
about who he would play. And someone did come up with the idea of what about Static Shock? Because this was revealed last week, and he said, I'm too old. I'd love to see a newcomer for Static Shock. And so...
Very good answer.
Like, okay, very good answer, because it's true, he is too old. Like, Static Shock should be 17. He should be Peter Parker age when he gets it. And so... I think John Boyega has come out and said he wants to be in this superhero world, and he's an incredible actor, and you just need to get him the right thing. And then someone said... Obviously, because as is classic, someone was like, well, why not Jon Stewart as the Green Lantern? And everyone just kept throwing ideas of people who were black in the comic books at him. And we've had this discussion where, I mean, it's a comic book character, they can be whatever they want. Like,
exactly.
He can be Batman if he wants, it does not matter. And he came out and said, why can't I be Red Hood? And so, John Boyega has put it into the world that he could play Red Hood in the Batman movies. Now, of course, this isn't news. This is just him tweeting what he would want to see. But I think that's a really cool idea, Sean, and I wanted to bring it up to you.
That would be unreal. First of all, I want John Boyega to enjoy being in a film series. So there's one.
I want John Boyega to be happy.
I want him to be happy. Now, you might encounter the problem of John Boyega, handsome man. Do you keep him in the hood all the time?
Ooh, that's a good point. See, he has to die and come back, which is going to be a hindrance. But I think you'd have to keep him in the hood. Red Hood normally has the hood up like 90% of the time.
True. Now, now we don't know. This, again, as you say, is just idle speculation and wouldn't it be cool syndrome. But the Batman, the Matt Reeves The Batman, that's a trilogy of movies.
True.
How would you feel if so we have this The Batman where he's on his own. Then in the next The Batman, he gets like a young ward kind of thing. And then in the third The Batman, it's suddenly John Boyega and he's Red Hood.
I don't think it's going to work.
Okay.
Because John Boyega and Robert Pattinson are the same age, are they not?
Then here's what you do. In the third one, Jason Todd dies. And then that's the end of the Pattinson era. And then the next DC movie that comes out is called Red Hood. And you just remake Under the Red Hood with a new Batman, an older Batman. Ben Affleck.
What's Affleck doing? I bet he'd come back to play Batman. You know what? He hasn't done it since.
You what?
I said he hasn't done it since. You know what I mean? It could be
absolutely
10 years.
My one stipulation for that is that we get Joaquin Phoenix as Joker.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that would be perfect.
Don't you think that would work in a world with Lazarus pits and black masks?
I think so. Yeah, but John Boyega just came out and he was like, I don't want to play Static Shock, I want to play Red Hood. And I just thought that was a funny, because I read the Static Shock news and then underneath it was like, John Boyega asked if he'd play Static Shock, and I was like, that's really good. And then he said, no, I'd like to play Red Hood. And I was like, that's even cooler.
That's
Red
even
Hood.
better.
Yeah, John Boyega, well done. I want to see John Boyega in things. I think he's an incredible actor.
He is, and I think he's been hard done by.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to move on to our next piece of news. And this is, Sean, I wanted to double up this week because I really thought I could get you annoyed. Doubly fast, as they say on the streets. Because I have another reboot, remake, yes! Nutty Professor reboot movie
Fuck
in the
off.
works.
Oh, here's the anger. Okay, what's going on is that all the screenwriters in Hollywood are locked away in their houses. And so all they have to do is watch Netflix and all the streaming services and any fucking VHSs they find. And so they're just like, that'd be real easy to redo. And then they just do it.
Do we have a fat suit lying around? We fucking do. Come on.
Nutty Professor isn't even that good.
No. Sometimes I read a news story and specifically throw it in just to anger you.
Oh, that one got me. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
No, like, Nutty
Professor.
That's from the 90s as well.
It is from the 90s,
That's still recent enough.
1996.
That's the year I was born.
1996 was actually the successful reboot of a movie in 1963. So there's already been a reboot of The Nutty Professor, which was a 1996 movie. And so now they're rebooting the reboot.
Have we learned nothing from Doolittle?
I thought Doolittle was such a great movie. To be fair, yeah, actually, Doolittle is the best example of you take a project that Eddie Murphy was in for some reason, and you reboot it, and they got the biggest movie star possibly on the planet, or top 10 on the planet in RDJ, and it still bombed because it was a terrible film. So, if you get an actor who's a lesser star than RDJ, what will that do to the movie?
I don't know. Like, here's the thing as well. Nutty Professor, the 1960s one, that's a parody of Jekyll and Hyde.
Yes.
So it's a remake of a remake of a parody of a novel from the 1800s.
It's no Norbit, I'll tell you that.
Oh, fucking...
Norbit.
Do we just remake Norbit at this point?
I think Norbit is next.
Eddie Murphy... What if he just does it again?
Just the same movie.
Just does Nutty Professor again. Fuck it. Like, they want to make the same movie.
It's not Nutty Professor 3, it's Nutty Professor 1.
Yeah, oh yeah, like, why would you...
Yeah.
Why would you continue on the story?
Be ridiculous. You'd have to recast the same actor and then do it again.
Wouldn't it be amazing if they just said, okay, we're going to make Nutty Professor 3, and it was somehow amazing? And it's just like, no, the third one's class. Yeah.
Like, the best movie is so serious. It's discussing really intense topics that are, like, really just so in your mind. It's just like the dichotomy of the man and the professor.
Well,
Which one is he?
So, what do you think is... What's the twist in this? Like, because, for those that don't know, Nutty Professor is an overweight professor who creates a formula, tests it on himself, and then he becomes a real strong man.
Yeah, real strong. He becomes Eddie Murphy.
He becomes Eddie... Because 90s Eddie Murphy, the most powerful man in Hollywood. But,
yeah, actually. No, I think Eddie Murphy from the 80s is more powerful. But 90s he's right. Still powerful.
90s he's family friendly.
Yeah.
But, like, it can't be the same. So, is it a real fit guy who becomes real heavy? Is that the way? Is that the way they're going to remake it?
No. I have it. The professor is a squirrel. And when he drinks the serum, he becomes a man. But he just looks like a normal man, right? But when he's a squirrel, maybe he's collecting things for hibernation. Maybe he likes a few nuts. Oh, look, it's the Nutty Professor. Boom!
See. Very good. Very good,
yes.
Connor. You've
Hire me, Hollywood. It can't be any worse than what you're doing.
You've linked nuts and squirrels once again flawlessly.
I just think it doesn't deserve all my brain, this idea.
No, not even like half of your concussed brain.
Who are you casting as the Nutty Professor?
Oh, it's a bold...
And not Eddie Murphy.
Not Eddie Murphy again. Oscar Isaac.
But Oscar Isaac is the ugly version. when he drinks it, he becomes handsome.
He becomes handsome, yeah. What if it was like...
He becomes Kane from wrestling when he drinks it.
What if it
he
was like...
so handsome.
Like, an MCU level buff dude. Like, Hemsworth is, like, regular. And he takes this serum to make him smart. And he becomes, like, a real small dude.
Like a child. He becomes a child.
He becomes like a baby. And he has to lift weight. And he's in a weightlifting tournament. And he's like, I'm a baby. But he still has the proportional strength of Chris Hemsworth. So they all start betting against the baby. But then the baby cleans him out. And so they're like...
cleans them all out.
Just because he's betting on himself as well. It's a real underground thing. And then by the end of the movie... He's like half Chris Hemsworth and half a baby, so he's on one leg and lifting with one arm.
And the baby's played by Kevin Hart.
Because he's so small.
He's so small.
And then Eddie Murphy comes in and says, I've done it! And then he drinks the potion. And then he becomes Buddy Love, the strong man. And kicks the shit out of Chris Hemsworth for robbing him in this tournament.
Oh, shit. Jeez, this plot is getting more and more intense.
It's a callback to the original. Well, not the original. We've established.
The reboot of the parody of the novel. It's a callback. And then Russell Crowe is in it, and he's playing both Jekyll and Hyde, but he's just monologuing about the Mummy movie that never was.
It's just like, they told me it was going to be a big franchise.
Tom Cruise, he just kept smiling, telling me I was going to make it big in Hollywood. I was like, I'm Russell Crowe, Tom.
He said, you can't run with me. And I was like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird to say the first time you meet someone.
I just said hello. He said, don't run with me. I said, okay.
Just made me want to beat a man with a phone. Oh no, not saying that again.
Oh no. So they are doing a Nutty Professor remake. I thought that would cheer you up. I really thought that would, like, bring you in.
It's, I don't... How do I put this? I don't want this.
Like it.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't want it nor like it. Well, something you might like and want, Sean, is news on the Suicide Squad. That is James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. We had the teaser trailer last week.
Yeah.
It came out... Well, it wasn't really a teaser trailer, more behind-the-scenes stuff. But what I will say is they may have slipped up. Or maybe not slipped up. Maybe they wanted to. Because they may have revealed something in the exclusive content that has told us who the villain is in Suicide Squad 2.
That's interesting, because we've got a whole bunch of like cast and character announcements, and we still don't know who the villain is.
True. Now, this is very, very loose. So, the villain they have claimed, now if you don't want these spoilers, skip ahead 10 minutes, but the villain that they are claiming is revealed in this trailer is Starro. Do you know Justice League's Starro?
No, and frankly the spoiler warning was wasted on me because I still have no fucking clue what's going on.
Starro is the monster or the alien creature that attaches itself to their face and like takes over the body,
like a face hugger.
That person, like a face hugger, yes, but it like begins to control the body.
Oh, okay. And is it like a sentient thing?
Yes, it is a sentient thing. So there's a great episode of...
This is Starmie from Pokemon.
Yes, there's a great episode of Batman Beyond where he joins the Justice League and Superman begins to turn evil and they can't figure out why Superman is evil. And the story is that he found this Starro monster in a godforsaken galaxy somewhere and brought it back, and the Starro monster attached itself to Superman's chest and has been on his chest for years, basically turning him slowly more and more evil and bringing more of his Starro friends to Earth. And so then when the Justice League investigate, all the Starro monsters like take over their bodies And it's like a body thing where every single one of them, like, once this monster attaches itself to your face, you just basically the monster begins to control you.
And this was decided by James Gunn, the man who made Slither.
Yes.
Unreal. I'm on board.
Now, this is not confirmed,
but might as well be.
There is a moment in the DC fandom footage of a battlefield, and in behind you can see that 2 of the fallen enemies have purple star-like creatures attached to their faces, which is of course the modus operandi of Starro the Conqueror, which is an actual character in DC that comes to planets and just there's millions of them and they just take over everyone.
This is weird body horror stuff that I wasn't expecting in a comic book movie.
Yes.
I mean, they did say we would not expect anything that's going to happen.
I was about to bring up the fact that there are a lot of expendable people in this movie, Sean.
Oh my god. So, you think that they're not just going to die, they're going to be taken over? And then whoever's left has to fight against the Starro people?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a mixture of Suicide Squad and aliens.
Holy shit.
Now, as I said, nothing is confirmed. This is off 2 shots at the behind, just as the camera, you can see in the corner 2 of the fallen people have purple stars on their face. We don't know. But if Starro the Conqueror is the villain, that is so fucked up. This could be like a horror kind of there could be people dropping non-stop. It'll be the scene in Aliens when all the Marines come into the place and there'll be millions of them and you'll see all these superheroes like talking big in the Suicide Squad and they'll all just riddle them with like millions of bullets and then half of them will get taken over.
Do you think... Okay, and we're still in spoilers, but we don't know. This is just speculation. What if Amanda Waller is in like the Superman-y role, in that she's been infected for ages, and then she sends in all these super beings to get infected so Starro can become more powerful?
Fuck it. I never even considered that, but that'd be great. Because the idea is that they take over one person and they just hide. Like, there's one... Starro the Conqueror is the main creature. Like, he's the number one. And he has loads of clones. Like, army of spore clones. Basically capable of attaching themselves to victims and taking over bodies. He's largely invulnerable. He's capable of extreme levels of mental suggestion and is driven by a world-conquering hunger. Basically the kind of villain you wouldn't want to waste good heroes on, but the kind of villain you could throw a bunch of B-list and C-list villains at to let them get taken over and just have like Idris Elba and Margot Robbie try and shoot their way out of there.
Yeah, I think those 2 probably have a free pass of survival, as does John Cena.
No, John Cena's dead. There's no way John Cena's getting out of that alive.
Thing is, though... Oh, actually, no. Because I was going to say, couldn't you just explode their heads? But if Amanda Waller's under their control...
She's not going to blow up any head, Sean.
She's Starro.
Yes! Oh my god. If this is true, this is mad. Because as you said, James Gunn did Slither. And James Gunn, I think this would be right up his alley.
Oh, absolutely. Like, he's... This is almost the plot of Slither. Slither's like an alien worm thing that lands, infects one person, and then it spreads. Like, very similar, I would say. But also, imagine the budget that's gone behind this one.
Also, it is similar to the plot of Suicide Squad 1. Where you have a mind control being who has like a body snatching thing and then has an army of people. But the difference is that when these monsters take over people, it's still the people's bodies. So if it's your friend and you chop off their hand, they're still your friend when they come back under their own power.
Yeah, like it's reversible in this.
They just have no hand.
Also, Nathan Fillion was in Slither.
Who?
Nathan Fillion.
Oh, was he? Interesting.
Yeah. So, you know, he's got experience.
it would make sense that the invasion is in like South America, because it's like a South American dictator. General Luna, I think is his name, is in the movie. And maybe the plot is that he's working with Starro and he's building an army of drones to invade the world or something.
Connor,
like,
not that I think I can write as well as James Gunn, but
right.
Luna, Moon, Stars.
Yes. Stars.
There you go.
Starro. Oh shit. Oh yes.
Confirmed.
Star-Lord. Star-Lord. It's all there.
Drax was behind it all along.
Does James Gunn only work with characters named after stars?
I think he's he lurks at a lot of stars, to be fair.
True. This is true. Also, the villain Dog Welder was meant to be in the Suicide Squad. Have you heard of Dog Welder?
Is this a dog who is also able to fuse metal?
No, this is a villain I was going to cover in Hero Zero, but he's so bad that I didn't want to cover him. Dog Welder is a villain who he welds dead dogs to other villains.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, no, that's an actual character from DC comic books.
Why would he do this?
He's a villain.
Oh, of course.
He's not a nice man. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that because it could be major news for the Suicide Squad movie, and it would be. I think this could be batshit insane if you have a bunch of villains who are all cocky. It's the plot of like Predator mixed with Suicide Squad mixed with aliens.
I had no idea about this news, and I'm so happy you told me. Can you do a Hero or Zero on Starro sometime?
I can, yes. I will do one of them soon enough. Probably closer to when the movie's about to be released. Maybe if we get a teaser trailer or something.
That's fair. Thank you for that. I need that to happen.
Yeah. Okay, we're finishing off Movie Mondays this week with a release from DC Fandom from last week, but we never got to it because we had, as I said, Wonder Woman, we had Justice League, we had the Batman. So, there was also a teaser trailer put out for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam character. This was a piece of big news. That obviously got overshadowed by the other three big releases, but I said we'd get to it this week. Sean, you have watched the trailer it's a teaser trailer, which I think is fine. It's done in CGI, which I think once again is grand because it's only a teaser, and it's just a bit of exposition. What did you think of it?
I quite like this. I like this as an idea for a teaser trailer because it was very clearly made during the Global Bastard. You know, where they had to.
Yes.
They didn't have they didn't have all the tools at their disposal. But it's nice because for someone like me who knows very little about Black Adam, it kind of gives a nice little intro to what he's about.
What did you get from this?
So he was like a slave on either in the past or another planet.
Ancient Egypt.
Might as well be another planet. The aliens built it.
Right.
And so he got the powers of Shazam but used them for evil to rise up against kind of like his slave masters.
He was the first Shazam.
So
he was the very first person they gave all the powers to. And unfortunately they made the wrong choice because he had a bit of darkness in him. Which is why Shazam those powers can only be given to a kid who is pure.
Yeah, like his heart was full of hatred for the people who were, to be fair, making his life a living hell.
I mean, he was a slave, so not great.
In ancient Egypt, lads.
Yeah, probably not great. But it does make sense that he would probably say he gets rid of all the people who were in control of him, and he has all these superpowers, and he's already filled with hate. And the powers just encapsulate or like multiply that. So he's like, well, I'll just take over the world. I'm that strong.
So he's locked away then. He's locked away for his strength for 5,000 years.
True. They get rid of him and And
then he's just like, never again. He's like, he wakes up and he's like, oh, I'm not going back there.
Yeah, his powers, he's basically equal to Superman. but
That's
he doesn't
insane.
feel like he needs. Like Shazam is basically equal to Superman as well. So Shazam and Black Adam are two sides of the same coin. So it's just Black Adam is Shazam, but gone not wrong, but he is what Shazam would be if put into the wrong hands.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, like, the vibe I get from Black Adam in this, first of all, I think The Rock is going to do really well in this. I hope he does it really dark and serious, like the vibe of this trailer is. But if Black Adam follows the vibe of this trailer, I don't think Shazam stands a fucking chance.
No, because I think people will always go for The Rock. If it's a battle between The Rock and anyone else, I think people are like, I hope The Rock wins this fight.
Yeah, but not even from like an audience perspective, but just in the universe. I don't think that the Shazam we saw in Shazam is ready to face this dude.
But I think that's a lot of the storyline behind Shazam and Black Adam in the comic books, where Black Adam is kind of like, you gave the same powers to that kid. Like, he doesn't deserve it. You know who I am? I'm Black Adam. Like, I'm way better than him. And then that is his downfall, where he underestimates Shazam repeatedly, and Shazam somehow finds a way to defeat him.
Yeah. I'm just reading through some of like YouTube comments while we're talking about this, and one person has hit the nail on the head. It says, I hope when this does come out, he's not just trying to flex at everybody and trying to be funny. He'd just play the role seriously. I think that would be amazing to see.
Do you think he'll be an anti-hero? Like, they can't really do a villain Black Adam movie, so I'm assuming anti-hero he will be.
Yeah, maybe. I'd make it like the Joker movie. Why not?
Stop making things like the Joker movie.
Nah, remake Taxi Driver.
Yeah, don't say make it like the Joker movie. Say do it like Taxi Driver.
Do it like all of Martin Scorsese's films, and then you've essentially made the Joker movie.
Nailed it.
Got him. I do like the very last shot of him on a throne of snakes is unreal. And there's
it's very comic book heavy.
This whole thing very, you know, those motion comic quote unquote movies that they put out.
Yeah,
like it reads very like one of those, which I like. I like the style of that.
Yeah, I really do too. I think it looks amazing. I just think it's a really interesting visual concept to put it out like a CGI thing. Because everyone was going to be talking about all the other trailers from that weekend, and so you do something to differentiate yourself. If you didn't have the chance to film it, which they haven't, let's do something cool where we have The Rock's voice explaining what the movie is about. And we don't have any footage, but we can make this on a computer, CGI the fuck out of it, have The Rock's cool voice being all charismatic in our ears, and we'll just watch it and he'll explain it to us. So then when we get a trailer later on, we're more inclined to understand what's going on.
Exactly, and they also benefit from like your websites will be like, what's Black Adam about? And then like they break down this trailer and then go into the history of the character. And like you say, it's a good primer for everyone to get ready for when the when the first trailer comes out, you know?
Yeah, and I just think it looks really good. I think The Rock could be... The Rock is obviously perfect for this role. He's been trying to get this role for like a decade. He's absolutely bang on as Black Adam. The only issue with Black Adam is that The Rock might be too perfect in that he may overshadow Shazam.
Yeah, but like Zachary Levi does have the benefit of, he's already had a movie and he has a fan base. But
The Rock is the biggest movie star in the world.
This is true. It's going to be. I'm not saying it's going to be easy.
We need Stone Cold Steve Austin playing Shazam.
Oh
it's the only way.
It's the only way this can work.
If The Rock lines up and Stone Cold is in his Shazam outfit,
that would be so
black
good.
Wig. I would watch that movie where a kid says Shazam and turns into Stone Cold. That would be amazing.
There has to be, someone must have cut that somewhere.
And then Black Adam's just like, The Rock is just looking at him like, fucking hell, I don't want to fuck with this guy. Oh my god, it's the rattlesnake. Better get out of here.
He's sitting on a throne of snakes.
Yeah, so I think that's it for this week's Movie Monday, Sean.
What a week. What a week full of news.
Full of news.
Will I take us out of the news and into the views?
If anyone hasn't been able to tell, Sean's tired.
Sean's doing his best.
Please.
Thank you.
Finishes off there.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with Hero Zero, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thank you goes out, as always, to all of our amazing patrons. Charlotte Williams, Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe Burney, Ray Ging, Roisin Hally, Ryan Evanson and Sean Jamieson. Thank you all so much for your continued support. It really helps the show out, and it's very encouraging, and you're all great, and aren't ye lovely?
All very nice folks.
Very nice folks. I was just saying it to Connor how nice she are. I'll reel it back.
A bit strong.
Sorry about that.
Reel it back in. Just
you're all awful. No, I've got it
yes, yes, get it
out. But we are also on all of the social medias. Twitter at Here's for Hire Pod, Facebook Here's for Hire Podcast, Instagram Here's for Hire Podcast, or you can email us any questions or queries to heroesforhire_ at outlook.com. But I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Connor Lawler.
I've been Sean Mead.
I'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.